Hello everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Good Times for All, or Zachary Zabala here if you prefer. I don't know if anybody's here yet, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of time before I start explaining stuff. If anybody's out there, I hope you're all having a good day right now. I've been, if you haven't seen my latest video, it's an experiment with shadows. A Chris Van Matre redo. So I'm going to be showing you that experiment here again today. And I did it a little bit different this time. I got a few suggestions in the comment section about where the lenses were, and they were asking how big the light source was and this and that, so I'm going to go through all that here in a little bit. If anybody's watching, can you hear me? Can you hear me all right? Is there any sound coming out of this thing? Can you hear me? Alright, I'm just going to give it a little bit of time if anybody's there. Maybe, I don't know. Hey, how we doing, Nick? Good to see you, man. How's life on that side of the plane? Treating you alright, I hope? Can you hear me alright, Nick? Am I coming through? Can anybody hear what I'm saying? Is there any sound? Just want to make sure I'm not sitting here talking for no reason. No? Nick, if you're still there, can you hear me? Are you hearing the words? Okay, cool. Thank you. Nice. Hot? Alrighty. Thank you. Yeah, I've been playing with these shadow experiments with these Fresnel lenses here, and it's, without knowing what kind of lenses are actually up there, it's really, or what the atmosphere is actually doing or what's going on. I mean, you could really say that anything is possible up there. With lenses and light, I mean, I'm learning that you can do just about anything. And then you throw atmosphere and you have all the movements and different temperatures and different, mediums coming into play, and there's so much involved. I don't think it's possible to actually, not optically at least, I don't think it's possible to tell how much of a curve there is, if there is a curve or not. I don't think it's possible to be able to see it. There's just too many variables that cannot be recorded. I mean, you would have to have a thermometer every, at least 100 yards in every direction, and then maybe you could get some kind of an idea of what's going on and how it's all really happening. But even then, I mean, a thermometer wouldn't do it. You would have to know exactly what the air was doing. There's so many different variables with the atmosphere that it'd be almost impossible to tell exactly what it is that we are seeing. So that's the conclusion that I'm coming to. I mean, it could curve a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I'm not looking up at the sky, I'll tell you that much. But it's really almost impossible to calculate a curve if there is one. I don't think it can be done. I mean, it would have to be a very controlled environment. You'd have to build a very, very long building. Then maybe, just maybe, you could. But there's too many variables going on. And the way our eyes work and everything, and how things are affected by different things. It's amazing. It's very simple, but it's very, very, very complex all at the same time. It's neat how it works. But so I've been messing around with these shadow experiments, and I've learned that with these lenses, with a Fresnel lens, you can pretty much get rid of a shadow completely. To where you, unless it's right in front of the thing that it's casting the shadow upon, that there won't even be a shadow. You can actually take, I was thinking about it, and the way that the light works, you can focus that beam of light with a Fresnel lens. With 3 of them, I got a nice beam of light, I'll show you, and I can get it down to about the size of a dime. And I have no idea what's going on up in the sky. It's really neat how it all works. But people were saying in the comment section yesterday about I was putting the object underneath the lens, between the lens and the Earth. And that's definitely not how the moon goes in the heliocentric model. So I was playing around with it this morning, and I was moving the object above it, and it seems that sorry about that, folks. Okay, well, I'm just going to get to it then. I'm going to get to the experiment here. As I was explaining though, halfway between the lens and the light source, if you put the object there, it will make the shadow about exactly the same size as. Here, I'll just show you. I'm gonna show you my setup first. Hey, how we doing, Chris? I'm gonna show you the setup first, how I have it set up, and then we'll get experimenting here. So all I have are some encyclopedia books here, and I have them set apart at a certain thing so I can put lenses at different heights, like this. Real easy setup anybody could do. I have my shadow here, my object that creates a shadow. It's just a ping pong ball with a string through it, fastened to the end of a pen. I have my outline of the shadow down here. As you can see, it's just about exact. I tried to get it really close for the shadow of the object directly on the source. And then at last, I have a tripod here with a little metal thing here and a camera with a magnet on the bottom of it, creating my light source. And it totally blocks out the light, so you can't see it. It is bigger than the actual light source, the object. Okay, so now that we have all that, we're going to get into experimentation mode here. I'm going to try to set this up so you can see it down here real close. We'll do that one more time so you can see it's really lined up pretty close there. There you go. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take one lens and just watch what happens to the light source. It really didn't get all that much smaller there. I'll show you what happens. I'll just add another lens real quick. And the light source gets really concentrated. It is very concentrated in there. Now I can't even see the black mark. Let's see, there you go. But as you can see, but the shadow is much smaller. I can get it down to about a quarter of the size almost. Maybe a third of the size. And this is above the lenses, not underneath them like I was doing yesterday. And it's neat though, if you move it about halfway and get it in there. Nope, nope. Maybe these lenses are a little bit different. I've been messing around with them. I'll put this lens up here and the light source will get even smaller. Look at that. So the actual light source is even smaller than the object. And here, I can't even get a shadow to cast. You can see the shadows around the outside edges of it. That's my hand in front of it. My hand totally in front of the light source. And it seems to always have... Wow, that's amazing. I never tried that yet. My arm. It seems to always get the light around it. With two lenses, you can almost block it out. With one lens, it's almost just magnifying it. And even with just one lens, you can make it smaller than the actual object. And this is also above. And as you keep going up and up and up, there it is with the one lens. Ah, that's not even halfway. If I were to go halfway, it'd probably get bigger. Yeah, it's bigger halfway. But yeah, it's really, really neat, folks, what you can do with the lens. And they're not all that. Look at that beam of light. And then I wonder if this will work. Let's see. We're going to try doing it this way. And looking at the actual source of light. Yeah, we'll move that one out of the way here. And it almost... Not quite, but almost mimics the sun there. If I could find it. I had it doing it pretty good earlier. I think it's squared off because of the books the way I have them. But there you go, folks. It's that easy. I mean... Amazing experiment, Chris. Never would have thought of trying it. But one thing I did find, that the further it gets away from the lenses, and it's almost as if no matter how far the lenses are apart, that it still always makes it smaller. I can put the lens up, real far apart. You can put them right on top of each other. Maybe that's what I'm going to start messing with next, is what sizes, at what distances the lenses are apart. But it doesn't seem to be too much of a difference. The further away I move it from the object, it seems to get smaller. That's pretty neat right there. That's just with two lenses, and the object doesn't even show up. Well, that would kind of explain why the moon would disappear when it got close to the sun. Maybe. So maybe it could be the moon in front of it. I don't know. Yeah, I do have a small magnifying glass, Chris. Good idea. I don't know. Let me see. I don't think this one's gonna work. I have one of these. Wow. Wow, that almost does like a yin yang thing. And you can get the light source even smaller. But do you see that? That almost yin yang pattern that I'm getting there? Wow. Put that on top. Put that on the light. I have to find my other magnifying glass. That'll be for next time. That's just my little jeweler's lens. And then I found this old one, this old hard one. It's a good baseline to start. And then I did also notice that when you bend the lenses, you can really yeah, look at that. You can actually get the light source down to be... It's hard to see with such a glare that I have there. But the light source is actually really teeny tiny right here. And it has a shadow in front of it. It has a shadow right in the center of this ring. Gosh, I wish... I'm just trying out some of these different things that I can do here. See if I can't... Wow, that's pretty wild looking. Whoa. Do you see that? That's the sketch setup on YouTube there. So if you have one lens laying down, you can take the other one and control where the light source is going to be. Wow. So it looks like it's dark in the center there where the light source actually is shining. But with this lens, and they're both flat, both the lenses are flat down. Wow, that is neat. Let me go back to normal. Let's see. Yeah, no spin required at all. So correct. And I bet if I even moved it up closer to this, oh yeah, the amount of movement is like nothing to get from one side to the other. I'm moving it barely anything. Wow. Sorry about that. I'm starting to get it down to where I can reset it. Reset it quick. Instead of waiting for it to reset it, I just go jump in and... Wow, triangles and stuff. I wonder if I can get... Wow, look at that. Doesn't it almost look like the stars dancing? There could be just multiple mirrors or lenses up there, whatever, vibrating. I don't know. I have no idea what's going on up in the sky. It's... So if anybody just joined in, what we were doing earlier I was showing is the shadow here will actually get smaller. And get your umbra, penumbra. All the way up till it's gone. But I cannot get the shadow to appear much smaller than that. With two of them, the shadow is almost gone completely when you put two of them down there. I wonder if I move that. No. It almost appears that the shadow gets larger the further away from the focal point. Have you noticed that? Like, I don't know how to why it does that. But as all I'm doing is pulling it away from it, staying on the sheet here. And as you can see, I get further away, then the shadow gets bigger. And again, I can put my hand. That is neat. But yeah, the shadow of things can get smaller with lenses. And you can even focus them in. I believe it's this one that does it better. And then you put another lens on top. Oh, I wish you could see that. I know it looks about the same size, but to me, it looks like it's about a dime right here, about as big as my fingernail. Right there in the very center. Let me see if I can't. Yeah, all I see through my camera is a really bright circle. Neat stuff. The light is not moving at all, folks. And actually, you wouldn't even have to move the lens. You would just have to bend it. You would just have to bend the lens to move the light. It wouldn't even have to really... I mean, you can go from one side of the earth to the other, or make a big giant circle. Wow, with a flat lens. Just tilting around like that. Yeah. Sorry about that. I got a guy outside my window yelling. But look at that, folks. Without the light source moving at all, and the lens just not really moving and just tilting around. You could make the sun go around the earth, around the flat plane. So what happened? Is there no glow busters on today? Does anybody know? Did they say last week and I just missed it? Yeah, I just learned this just now, guys. So we're learning together here. So with just a little, wow, that's awesome. I think we're gonna end it on that. I'll do like a 25-minute, half-hour show. Okay, do you guys have anything that you want me to try? Any other ideas or anything like that that you want me to mess around with while we're here right now? I'm thinking I'm gonna do this once a week, maybe every weekend, every Sunday. I know I'm off every Sunday. I'll do it before Globe Busters. Try to get on when nobody's doing anything. And we'll come back and play with these lenses one more time. Give anybody who's got any ideas. But if you have any ideas, think about them. Maybe jot them down or whatnot, or just comment to me. And we can do it next week. We'll be playing with the gyroscope here. I can do that stuff live. That's fun. Have your guys' input and ideas right off the bat, right there live. I'll get a couple more of these Fresnel lenses. I have a hemispherical lens, and we're going to start playing with the southern stars, see if we can't figure that. But the way things work above our heads, folks, the light source doesn't even have to move, whatever it is. There doesn't have to be anything rotating. It could be just tilting and shifting a little bit, as you saw right there. So, I don't know. We're going to be playing with this stuff and trying to do more and more and see what we can get figured out here. Or at least possibilities, different possibilities. And rule out anything that is wrong. Yeah, Chris, it was an awesome experiment, man. Really cool stuff. Really. I did not know that, Nick. I had no clue. Well, maybe they're onto something. But that's gonna be it, folks. I'm gonna jump off here. Got some stuff like that to do and all that good stuff. But that would definitely make sense, Nick, to just have the light source above it rotating around a little bit. So yeah, thanks everybody for dropping in, joining the chat and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. I wasn't gonna make this one a video, but I think I'll go ahead and post this one. We learned some really neat stuff and see if we can't build on it next week and expand. So thanks everybody for showing up. I really appreciate it. And this is Good Times for All, signing out. As always, thanks for watching.